All right, so once you have your value scale, you're going to have this in your sketchbook. 10 values. I'm going to be really honest with you. This is kind of hard to do. I usually stick to 8, but I believe in you. Y'all can make it 10. How you know you've been successful at it is if you can actually tell the difference between like value 8 and value 6, really making sure that the values are distinguishable from going one to the next. So the next thing I want you to do, and we're going to talk about, is practicing different types of shading. This is probably taking you back to like middle school or elementary art if you took art. It's very basic stuff, but like practicing it is what makes you better. So, oh my God, there's a bee in here or something. Oh my God. Okay, y'all have to see this thing. I have no idea what it is. Ooh, you see that? What the heck? What is it? Okay, I'm going to try to keep my composure. And I'm going to apologize in advance if you are like a member of PETA. But yeah, I can't have that in my house. I don't know what it was. To continue. It's kind of like if you're in like an instrumental class, you have to do your scales. It's just a basic thing that you do. And it's those basic things that build up your skills. So for us, it's going to be the different types of shading. So you can do this with sphere. So you could just start off by doing 1. Let's do 6. If you want to trace something, you can. Obviously, I'm not making these circles perfect, and I'm not going to completely finish them. But you're going to want to do 6 circles, and I'm gonna go with the 4B just so you can really see. You, again, can just use your regular wooden pencil. So we're going to first we're going to start off with blending. This is probably one of the most common ones. So this is a type of shading where you throw in your pigment. And we're going to do a sphere. We started off as circles, but after we're done with shading, they're going to be dimensional, 3-dimensional spheres. And we're going to just have the same light source for all of these coming in this direction. If you're in elementary school, you probably remember doing the little sun. So you could remember where your light source is coming from. You're a big kid now, so you don't really have to do that. But if you're just feeling nostalgic, well, who am I to stop you? Remember, this is going to go in your sketchbook. If you don't have a sketchbook, you can do it in drawing paper, and then we can compile them. Okay, so right now, your lighting surgery is, I don't see blending. You're literally just coloring it. And blending is more, not so much just smudging, even though you can smudge, but blending is just having a smooth application of your graphite, where it just goes from dark to light very smoothly, and have the look of almost it being blended. But I do know what you're saying. It doesn't look blended. So you can actually go in with your finger, smudge it out a bit, blend it. The problem with it is, you see how I've just covered all of this area, and it's kind of like gray and I lose my light source. So I'm just going to go in with my pencil eraser or my non-pencil eraser. You can use a pencil eraser. And blend it in more a little bit, because I don't want there to be a harsh outline on the circle. And that's one of the things that people do incorrect when they're trying to draw something realistically, is that they include this harsh outline, and we don't really want to see a harsh outline. And so I'm going to add a little more pigment and just really shape out that circle there. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. This is blending. All right. Now, if you wanted to be extra, you can go in and do like the horizon line and the drop shadow and all that. but I'm not going to be extra anymore. All right, let's go to the next one. And the next one is hatching, like hatching an egg. And this is lines going in just one direction. There is something, what the heck? We had the door open and bugs flew in. All right, I promise not to kill this one. So hatching is shading using a series of lines that go up and down, or just go in one direction. They can go right to left, but I'm just going to do mine going up and down. Now, how do you shade with just lines? Thicker, darker lines closer to each other make darker values, right? Then you start to space them out and thin them out, and it starts to make lighter values. Okay, you get the idea. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. So that's hatching. Now you're going to go to the next one, and it's going to be similar, where you're going to start off with your lines. Remember, thicker, closer together equals darker values. But then what's this? What? This is now going in two directions. And whenever you shade using lines going in two directions, that is called cross-hatching. Very nice. All right. The next one, which honestly is probably one of the things I attribute to me no longer teaching middle school, because this is something I would have to teach every year in middle school. So imagine 8 classes a day doing this technique. You'll understand why I love high school. The next one is called stippling. And that is the act of shading using dots. Now, I am not going to use my pencil because that is going to take forever. So I'm just going to use this marker. Now, when you have 36th graders using their pencils as hard as they can to shade with stippling, your migraines will get a migraine. It's the same concept as the hatching and cross-hatching. The more you put them together, the darker your value will be. So we're not going to go through all of that. Next. Now, these are the 4 main ones. These are the ones I usually only teach. But you Google, you're going to find a bunch of other stuff that people have just kind of made up. And that's fine because there's really no rules to art at times. So one of them is contour lines. And that's where you're kind of like showing like the shape. And again, it's like darker lines closer together, make darker values. And the light source is going that way. And then the last one is scumbling, which is just basically an artsy word for scribbling or like gesture marks or something. Same concept. The more you have, the closer together, the darker the value. This one's actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we said this was contour. This is scumbling. Your sketch page should look similar to this when you turn it in for credit. So 10 scale, value scale with pencil, the 6 ways of shading, blending, hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, contour, and scumbling. All right. So I lied. I told you this next video I would give you your project, and it's not going to be this video. It's going to be the next one.